I understand we've reestablished our connection with Catherine Norris-Trent, who's at that air base where Olivier Dubois arrived a short time ago. Catherine, just set the scene for us. It seemed like it was a pretty emotional reunion there.
Emotional, yes, and you saw that big smile on the face of Olivier Dubois as he stepped in a sprightly way, as Rob said, down the steps of the French airplane here at the Villacoublay air base, and was very quickly greeted by two members of his family, his father and his half-sister, as well as his president. I have to tell you right now, Monty, that I'm looking just to the side of me at a big group of microphones being put in place at the press barriers here. A clue, perhaps, we're expecting someone to speak. Perhaps the man himself, Olivier Dubois. Of course, President Macron was here on the tarmac. We were told earlier we weren't expecting him to make remarks, but now preparations do seem to be underway for some media appearance. So obviously we'll keep you updated on that. But it's been a few minutes now that Olivier Dubois has been inside a nearby hangar being reunited with his wife and their children. We can only imagine the emotional scenes there, of course, after nearly 2 years separation. Olivier Dubois was seized hostage at the beginning of April 2021 after he went to interview a jihadist leader in Gao in northern Mali. And there has been very little news of him filtering through since then. So, of course, they've been extremely anxious, as have those campaigning for his release. We've been hearing from Reporters Sans Frontières, Reporters Without Borders, who have spoken of their immense relief after Olivier Dubois was freed and flown back first to the capital of Niger, Niamey, and now back here to the Paris region. So, yeah, we're hoping to see him speak soon. We'll obviously keep you up to date on that as we get any more.
Yeah, let us know if you see him come up to the microphones there, Catherine. I imagine that the French authorities want to know more about his 700-plus days of captivity. What happens next in this process for him?
So, of course, as well as being able to rest and reconnect with his family, he will undergo a debriefing. Some of that will have happened in Niger, but of course, he must have been very tired after his ordeal. So after re-acclimatizing somewhat, then he will be debriefed by the French security services. They will be wanting to glean as much information as they can about who held him captive, where, in what conditions, all the people he spoke to, any details that they can get, because this kind of information, intelligence really is extremely valuable, of course, to the French, who've been waging a campaign against jihadist groups in the Sahel, this strip of land just south of the Sahara and in the Sahara itself, for more than a decade now. An unsuccessful, largely trip. They've managed to hold them back. But this territory is so difficult for any force to try and contain. It's huge stretches of deserts, very difficult terrains indeed, a multitude of jihadist groups there. So any information they can get from what will no doubt be a very thorough debrief will, of course, be very useful to them, given their limited access to the zone. French troops were asked to leave Mali, and even in other areas of the Sahel in nearby states such as Burkina Faso or in Niger, access to this zone is and remains extremely complicated.